even if we are to accept the fact that 1295 no na Asumegya wo ho, yes. 1295 no na Kokofu wo ho, yes. 1295 no na Adansi wo ho, yes. But they were not so formidable as the Bono kingdom, no. So human habitation there, untimin kan chamsa men kan say ya mori for no. As for that one, no. Because there were other human habitations elsewhere. Because now we even have it that if you take the Adansi people, Awurade Basa no kura no ayakti ni Adansi na, he was the fourth chief. Awurade Basa was not the first chief. Awurade Basa was the fourth chief. And that was around 13 something. So at the time the Bono Manson kingdom was in existence, the Adansi kingdom was also in existence. But the Bono Manson kingdom was more powerful, well known, well established than the Adansi kingdom. Something I'm going to be catching them say. Bono Manson, a kind kingdom, you know, in peace. Yeah. Well, it could be possible. It could be possible. Men can say 100% too. Me say, well, it could be possible. No, because kingdoms, no, I know, something. No. It could be possible. So please, and we feel free hand men can send here obi, me bobi dina, men can send here be, me chira bako se mukakre. Enti men can send here obi. I am just saying that that is how the history should be, and we need to tread cautiously. Because even with the Bono Manson, the recent debate which has surfaced, Nana Samang, Nana Meya Kunfinu Yinano, first Reno Munano. Our mo ended no 1363. No more yet. A Diana 4. That is another debate about Nana Samang, 1295 to 1325. Nanamia 1325. Nanamia who came to the stool on 1297 to 1325. And then Nanamia Kunfi the first 1328 to 1363. They were all Ediana. That one, there's no debate about that. That one, there's no debate. There's no debate about that. So if that one, there's no debate. If the history we have it, let's say, a Diana form, if Asumegya, how do we solve that riddle? You know? So if we, you cannot, as for that one, it is an undeniable fact. Nana Asamai, 1295 to 1325. Nanamia 1297 to 1325. Nanamia the first 1328. Nana Amia Nana Amia the first 1328 to 1363. They were all Adriana, and the Adriana forcing in free, or massive free. Asumegya. Dying as a Diana for no, so that it brings in another issue for us. It makes that thing because it confirms what some people have been saying. Say before 1295, na Bono kingdom no nyina na so, but people were staying there, and therefore people were trading, and therefore there's the possibility that the Asumegya people here. Some went there, and it makes the whole thing. I don't know money who interesting. No, so the first three no ended Nana Asamai, Nanamia Kwachi the first. They all ended in 1363, and that 1363 they were all Diana. They were all Diana. So how do you settle it? Because the Asumegya people also emerged from a cave, Bono. And that now we have archival discovery, let's say, 10th century, you had the Asumegya people a omo fi Bono mu no omo fi Bono mu na badadada. No omo fi Bono mu badadada. So 1100 na Asumegya for na fi Bono mu aba. So how do you answer it, sir? So ne be fi Bono mu no aba, ne be Asumegya ha. Yeah, then as for that one, I cannot, because it makes the whole thing complex. But I think we can still go on and do the debate. But Metiminian 1295 now, because that date is recorded, it's written. That date is recorded and it is written. What you say? So that is how it is. It is also what is me bo bidini, me kasa kire obi, me bo bidini, me bo group bidini, me bo nipa bidini bo group. Me kasa nti obi ane. I have not. Because tactically I decided not to mention some people because some of their bloggers will be insulting you. They will not even listen to the import of Nyawokan on TNT Abakosem. On TNT Abakosem. The bloggers will be insulting you. So, that explains why, and now no pay no one will say, Manya da geno de amamwa. Upe baby a human settlement no pa. Me gidi se be adansi efo no. Me gidi se e be adansi efo no. Maybe because of name me the back and the back and now the Atimokwa Aquamufon who moved to settle at Nyanwasen. Their first chief was Nana Ajen Kokobo around 1530, 1540, 1550. And therefore, the Asumegya Kokofu nananganom no nanankan soano abiye koko kumawunu. That year and that period and that era no na kumawuso akwamuso bai. Kumawuna na epem so no a the name in this contest, in this submission, when you hear Kumawu, don't make it before 1700. Anytime I'll mention Kumawu before 1700, no, memfano yenopem so. But anytime I'll mention Kumawu after 1699, anytime I'll mention Kumawu before 1699, yenopem so. But we can Kumawu now after 1699, and they can Kumawu. That one has that. Now the history has it that the Apemfo, they settled in thousands first. It is among all the accounts. History has it that it is the Kumawu people who first settled in thousands. Now the Kokofu and Asumegya people are saying that by history, Kumawu ye nanan kansoa. That is 1530 no. Asumegya and Kokofu are saying that omo ye nanan kansoa. Good. So Kumawu ye aduana. So the Asumegya and the Kokofu people are saying say Kumawu ntimi mfra no ho aduana piesie because o nanan kansoa nanachi. That is the 1530 1540 people. Okay, this is what the Asumegya and Kokofu are saying, and we agree. Then Akwamuye 1550 Ajen Kokobo. Akwamuye 1550 Ajen Kokobo. So if the Asumegya and the Kokofu people are saying, say, Kumawu ya nanankansoa dia, any Ajen Kokobo of Atimokwa, Akwamunu, also ya nanankansoa, also ya aduana. Okay, good. So at the time I want to settle on Yano Wasano, I'll come with you. Not just going by the Asumegya and the Kokofu, you know. Nyano wase for ne na nankanso achi na nankanso ankanso. Good. Now it was the Akwamu which part broke to form Doma Yadoya Mane. That was 1640. That was 1640. Menkasenti ubia menyabi mentu bi pen. So if the 1540 of Kumawu or Pemso menya mekano Kumawu so be if 1550 of Aduana Akwamu, they are all considered as Nanankansoa. Then in history, how will you call the people who broke away from Nyanwase to come to settle at Sutreso? How will you call them? Because it was the Akwamu for now party be breaking 1640. Na he for na ekwe no say ye doye mane nti na ye ekwe ye doye mane. Na ye doma. No better Sutreso. And when they settle at Sutreso no, na kwa mine tafo na makom no nyina no no wo ho. No he for na better na say ye doye mane. So they will tell you that ye doye mane for no na be settle Sutreso. So ye doye mane for no broke away in 1640. So after the number of years, but the bottom line is that by 1670, ne ye doye mane for no almost Sutreso 1670. If that is the situation, how do you describe the Yadoya Manafon who broke away from a common system? How do you describe them as the Aduana PC? This has been the question I've been posing. Friendly, already it's a friendly chat. It's a friendly chat. How do you conclude that or Aduana PC? You see? I mean, this is unless you are telling me that the Akwamu branch who broke away Domano and 1640, I am saying it and I'm beating my chest out that it was in 1640. It was in 1640. And therefore, how do you describe that one as the Aduana PC? Asumegya. You see? Yeah, even somebody has even given me that Kwaman got their first chief in 1570. No, me ma humpo. Kwaman Kronya the first chief no in 1640 no, 1570 na wo kana kura. Kwaman nya the first chief in 1570 no. Kura no. Na Asumegya na Kokofu wo ho. We quite thank you. What would we cry Bremen? Also, my first chief was 1570. Any entry. Young Fanasa, 1570. So 1570, there are Quamano crying, you know. Kokofu. As for Adansi there, Kokofu, Asumegya, okay, because not Adansi Bono. I'll get to their fourth chief now. I'm not glad they are around 13, 14 something. You know. Now go back and look at the way America in Semetia. Kosha Kwawu case na Akwamu case na ko Supreme Court. Judgment delivered in 2022 by Nene Amekache. You have the genealogy, you know, the record of the Akwamus no Samekampo Miditra. And it is Abruwatia Love Some versus something and others. Supreme Court of Ghana, 2022. The majority was read by Nene Amekache. Go and look at that judgment. But so from what narration I've given, no, I have not settled on the fact that the Bono Manso Kingdom no NAFS, because me come Adansi so or Machino so. As you look at the history of Adansi for they started with Adansi Kwapiahano. eben akokere. And that even good. Mention the name of akokere for be some say. Mo free him. O say abi o do man ko ba ade na obo akokere. O do man ko ba ade na obo akokere. Yeah. Do man ko boy. So the akokere people are saying that with due respect, they are even older than Jesus is there 2,000 years. Aduman kuma bo ade na obo akokere. Na yen na yesisi adansi. Ampa so adansi efo. So we need to do more between the Adansi and the Bono kingdom. But to be the crown, I'm just saying, the Adansi people may be in existence, but it was not a formidable kingdom as the Bono Manson kingdom. Like I've admitted, say, na Kokofu and Asumegya in our before 1295 of Nanasa, but now well-established kingdom. So coming back to the Suntraso people claiming say woman aduana. I'm talking about the Suntraso people. I'm talking about the Suntraso. Many women and say that can be possible. That cannot. Because one, the Obo people, the Suntraso people no claim say woman free yiba kotena Obo. The Obo people are saying say woman free Asumegya. Woman free Asumegya. One, the Kumau people also admit that free Asumegya. The Kwafu Akoto admit that free Asumegya. The Nyanwa say people who move from Atimokwa, some being Asamankesi, Asarene, they agree. So, ancestrally, Diana. So I think I have to rest my submission here today. And my submission in Mama Mia politics. Mama Mia Mwaje Mwasunya Modeno. Mwaje Nina fa Mwasunya Modeno. Mwaje Nina fa. Now some are saying that no, that is why I also say I'm going to say I can phone free Asian Ghana. I know you're Asian Ghana 1042 Amoravis Mansa Musa 30 something Mali. So because 1042 no walk on the Amoravis captured the Asian Ghana. No. You have trace of people. Maybe 1042 there be more. You also be war man can society 1042 many probably no. The Asian Ghana collapse here. 1042, it is possible that Ubetimenya a hunter and a Farija Quija Fantifone be 1042 Ubetimenya Binmo. That possibility is there. So the Asian Ghana na Moka say collapse am Nantia Moki can yamode. Professor David Dankwan na say yan no yet say Asian Ghana for no much free in France. And predominantly is the accounts. Anything I did, you know, can. But 1042 Adam Moravis captured the Asian Ghana, no, they say. I know the 1042, the enemy probably one. So we are still going on with the discussion. But I think that, so be free, touching mine, no, or can say, may a bono man sony, if I more recover, may a bono ni, me no yard. But you be out touching mine. It's like you be out to Krobiaso. Now, Casso, you be our own and free baby never now. You'll be out to free baby never now. I say, have Obaya is in the US, MPP, or much chairperson. Oh, besides Obaya, saw you in your semi Adansi. And some have been so women if you don't have that knowledge. What's your dancing or him? Or see me was something. Eh, you're not correct. Everyone be saying, or see me a man see any. Obeka to so free be kwai ananja o se obi dem wo free him fa o se me yamansi ani wo free him fa o se me kwabre wo free him fa o se me sekere o se wo free him fa o se me tiaso wa bi naja wa bi aja wo free him fa o se me asante achim they are all right Now, so now be say, oh, me a member of that Santa Mine Council. So you can't just say that Domasi na kwasepim busa no ba 1606 no. Because like the interview I was talking about, the Kwachamia interview, when the University of Ghana, 1973, 13, 14, 15, 16 March 1973. In fact, it was published in Kwame Ahin's book, Bron Champion. Kwame Ahin's book, Bron Champion. It was published in his book. Kwachamia, when he was asked, 1973, and so, na tema na mo Bono manso, mo na na mo Bono manso ambo di dwa no. Hemfo bi no ba nye Bono fo abeba Bono manso be di dwa. O se domase be go for buy, domase for buy. Yeah, domase for no buy na domase number 1. That is the 1606 people. So about more than 100 and something years and sana Bono manso. So they were trading. The Bego people were trading. The Koti people were trading. Kotino, well, when you Kotino, between Drobo and Sumahinkuru. It's a small town. Koti, Eben. Suma, Eben Suma. Koti Ben Suma pa. Koti Ben Suma. And that is part and parcel of Suma. It's part and parcel of Suma. They were not moving from that side, ancient days, to trade with Bono Manson. And they say, "Bidim timidi nkwa mu be mpre nanumo nansi ho." Okodiga. You know. So now, those of us talking, people talking about Bono, I've given you the opportunity. That's why me who catch you on no free sampa. Na yan Bono for. And you can't make head and tail of what he was saying. You cannot make head and tail of what he was saying. Because the bottom line is that Sampa nye Bono before be Sampa in Afana. But if you are saying that Sampa is in the Bono region, and therefore we want to form a union, and therefore that union involves all of us in the Bono, I agree. But for goodness sake, don't create the impression that Sampa Nafana niya, Ufri Cote d'Ivoire nebayen. Oh yeah, either Heni Bonum or the Koti Bonum, or the Amori Bonum, or the Ahenia Koko Bonum, unye biabi. Even Ahenia Koko, Samanjaduan for the Mabin Bovian, Sambabi through from the Bayano, Bovian Sanabama, Miss Samanjaduano. Bekrabanya more recovery for me. And when Fono have always maintained the identity, Ahenia Kokofono. They have always maintained their that is why I was saying. And in fear ye free, so far they have maintained the identity, ye free, so far ye free, and in fear ye free when ye koko, ye free bonum. And therefore the Bono Manson people cannot claim sabio superiority over the Henia Koko Bono. Neither can they claim superiority over the Heni Bono. Neither can they claim superiority over the Koti Bono. But just that the Bono Manso people were fortunate to have a very big market. Sika bube. Kwacha di efe. Ye discard na ye. Because when be bia no am ye Bono Manso bia na efe na sika koko nko a. Yen kasa kwancha na di efe. No kwacha di efe. Kwachi am ya no the third chief no from 1228 to 1328 1363 no. Sika be hefa. Sika, yesi sika. Gold no ebe hefa. And the kwacha de efe e sika. Ni bi efe. Gold here, gold there, gold everywhere. Now even the Gonjas admitted the fact that when they captured the Heni market also was a very good market. But when the Gonjas captured the Heni people, they fought the Bego Heni people almost kata the market shifted by Bono Manson market. And the Gonjas couldn't capture the Bono Manson people. In the 15 something, the soldiers, Gonja people couldn't capture the Bono Manson people. So after the collapse of Hani market, Babe di Gani na be free no for free na be ba Bono Manson. And the Gonjas admit, if you read Ivan Melorich wrote the book in 1944, 1945. Date in Ukraine history. Date in Amedema on Quran. If I'm already dating or no crowd Troy, no, me say 1944, 1945. If I'm already, and no cry history, one of history. Now, the interpreter Atuabam was doing the interpretation for Melorage. And no cry, no Melorage admitted, say, when Bono Manson was there, Henny was there, Domase was there, and the Gunjas nowhere. So I so admitted in his book, the Broncham Pim. Melorage, they need the Akan origins of Akan. Melorage, they need the origin. If you want to know about the Akan, I invite anybody to go and look for a copy of Melorage book. And you come on, if I'm Melorage, the origins of the Akans, a very good book. But Melorage, cry no, mekana me hu mitimi sansane biase. Say no, emfa, we emfa. Melorage cry no actual book of the Quran. Melorage gives the area. So that when you read Melorage, you realize that the lawyer now can say, I can phone you for boa. Because Melorage discussed the Adansi, the Kokofu, the Infante, the Hunter. Melorage discussed all. And there is no way Melorage linked them to the Bono Manson people. Oboa lawyer no kasa oboa. Lawyer no kasa. Madam I say, my yebi, mo amoboa me with contributions and the rest. Madam I say, I'm not saying say I'm the master of history. I'm saying say so. Obi Fremina umame adisuade a be me de. O Fremina umame adisuade a me de pa. Because bitimi kan na say me ka sa ha na mbetena ka na me ka agona nkuru no. Me ka agona nkuru na me ka jamase. Adeche obi di ram say na jamase nka ho. Ti me da na say. So sometimes I am prepared to learn. I am prepared to share ideas. But as for those bloggers who I am prepared to, blogger now, we are blogger. If you say Yankopon, my boy, we are started here blogger. What me at Yamakan and what you know every day. And I think that will be a new opportunity now. No, I'm saying that Ajin Kokofu was the first chief of the Kokofu. That is what it's not, I got it wrong. Ajin Kokofu, I read it from the Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court judgment delivered by Amegache in 2022. You go and read that. And I've also had the opportunity to meet Lawsome, Abrowetia Lawsome, one-on-one, Meneneshia. And he also confirm it. So, Madam I say, please don't insult. No insult. Me betena me bo bidin, me kan obi asema, me bo din, me kan okro, me kan wazia. Enya tindidie. No, we are all sharing who rules over Sampa? That's the question. BC who rules Sampa now? I don't know. I don't think I'll drag myself. But I know that in 1984, that one, it is 1984, Sampa Hene Kofi Sono, who was the owner of Tropical Hotel, Bono, Mine Kumasi, 1984, Kofi Sono, ye Bono Mine Ewo Kumasi, in 1984. Sampa 1984 Kofi Sono ye Bono Mine ya mono wo babibia in Ghana say manhia opoku ware ho manhia. So if you want the history of I don't want to be dragged into who is the chief, but I know if you want to know the chief of Sampa, go and look for the gazetted chief. If you look for the gazetted chief, you will know the gazetted chief. I don't want to be drawn into that matter. You know, I don't want to be drawn into that matter. But you know, like the debate goes on. If you are gazetted, is at the end of it, it's also another debate. It's also another debate, another discussion. I don't want to be drawn into some of these. I just want to be factual, honest, and sincere. If you want to know more, Mr. Kofi Sono, Opoku ware Bono Mine, 1984. And amanfo a ene wo mo kan say ni see no. I don't want to be drawn into Nana Samodua. I know him very well. Onene mamene papa Nana Janflaso madam for no very well. So Sampa chieftaincy, I've been very quiet about that. But I'll give you the history. Sampa for no na fana. Corona tesle friend Sikasoko. Sampa Baya Chepa, Sampa Baya before, Sampa possibly before 1500. Or if we could before 1500. But on your Chepa Jamra for Nache. Jamra have been in existence from about 1300. So Sampa no among for Jamra and Kuti, Wamana Chepa. But now if you are making the history of Sampa, you can start from 1984. Nana Kofi Sono Opokuwa ne Bono Manhene. Sampa had a lot of difficulties. If you read Idris Mahama's letter, which was written in January 1986, Idris Mahama wrote a letter to the Otumfo Asantehene on the instructions of President Jerry John Rawlings. January 1986. And that letter, he was very emphatic that Sampa Brimpa na Wawatimi Enyam. And that letter is there. That letter is there. So when you hear people talking about na Sampa, na I'm saying what do you know me? But no, one tisa biaka say Otumfo Opokuware Ebo Kofi Sono Hene in 1980. Obono Manhene Manshia 1984. 1984. Then go and look for the letter which was written by Idris Mahama, then the PNDC minister responsible for chieftaincy in January 1988. Look at those two documents and you see that the man for a year no nini na makasa minkambino about Sampa. I know a history of Sampa. I know as a fact that both the Adaso nyina na nye eyidia Sampa dia. The Adaso 1, the Adaso 2 nyina na nye Sampa dia. Ni nipa wu a yekonyane no. And they are all part and parcel of Suma or Sampa. I don't know, but I think something happened. No, they were for the Adaso. Now I think they've changed it to Sampa. Yes, they were from the Adaso. The Adaso have Nana Miller, and they are all now was Sampa. It has a very good history. It has a very good history, and maybe if you want to discuss it. But whether you are talking about Gazette or no Gazette, I am saying that the bottom line is that in 1984, Kofi Sono was elevated. Kofi Sono of Sampas 2 was elevated to the status of Sampa as Omanyene in 1984 by Opokuware. Full stop. Asa Tankrai Wafa Wagene. Nichia ubia, memobia bye bye.